My sister looked me straight in the eye and said, "We changed the will. You get nothing." Those words hit me like a punch I never saw coming. After everything I had done for her, after every sacrifice, nothing. But little did she know, her smug little victory was about to crumble and I would be there to watch it. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you trusted, hit subscribe now, like this video, and stay with me. Because this isn't just a story of betrayal, it's a story of patience, planning, and the sweetest kind of justice. Let's dive in. I had always been the responsible one. Growing up with my sister Emily, I was the one who held everything together, the glue in our family. While she chased fleeting dreams and whims, I handled the practicalities. Bills, family obligations, small crises, they all fell on my shoulders. I never complained. I loved my sister, and protecting her felt natural. When our parents passed away, I naturally stepped into their role. The estate was complicated, a mix of real estate, savings, and a small business they owned. I knew nothing about the legal nuances at first, but I taught myself, researched for hours, met with lawyers, accountants, and financial advisors. I made sure Emily had a steady income, a safe home, and all the support she needed. I even helped her secure a small business loan, guiding her every step of the way. Through it all, I never asked for anything in return. Not gratitude, not recognition, not even acknowledgement. I did it because family meant more than my own comfort. It all came crashing down one bright Thursday morning. I had arranged to meet Emily at the lawyer's office to finalize some details about the estate distribution. I expected her to be tired, maybe a little anxious, but not malicious. Instead, she leaned back in the chair, crossed her arms, and looked at me with a smirk I didn't recognize. "We changed the will," she said casually. "You get nothing." The words didn't register immediately. My mind tried to process them, but it felt like a physical blow. My chest tightened, my throat burned, and a cold wave of disbelief washed over me. "After everything I've done," I whispered, my voice trembling with a mixture of shock and disbelief. "No one asked you to help," she replied, her tone sharp and icy. "You made your choice. Don't expect anything now." I stood slowly, every movement deliberate, fighting to maintain composure. My hands clenched into fists at my sides. "Then don't ask me for a single thing ever again," I said, my voice calm but edged with steel. She laughed, a short, cruel sound, and for the first time, I felt completely alone. I left the office that day with a storm raging in my chest, not a storm of anger, but one of planning. I didn't know it yet, but her smug little victory was the opening I had been waiting for. In the weeks that followed, I didn't confront her. I didn't yell or make a scene. Instead, I observed. I watched her stumble through the challenges I had always anticipated. She overestimated her own intelligence and underestimated mine. She made small financial missteps, loans she couldn't manage, deals she rushed into without understanding the risks. Meanwhile, I quietly built my own life. I started a small consulting business, using the knowledge I had gained handling the estate. I didn't flaunt my success, but I grew quietly, steadily, and strategically. I focused on precision and patience. Every move I made was designed to ensure that when the time came, justice would fall in my favor. Emily, oblivious to my growth and the trap I was laying, continued to flaunt her victory over me. Every social media post, every bragging story, every smile directed at me became fuel for the plan I was quietly constructing. The turning point came when Emily tried to secure a major investor for her business. She had poured her energy into this deal, convinced it would cement her financial independence. And this, I realized, was my opportunity. I approached her under the guise of a neutral advisor, an experienced consultant connected to the very investors she hoped to impress. She welcomed my advice, not realizing that my guidance would be the key to her downfall. Over several weeks, I guided her decisions. At first, they seemed beneficial: contracts that promised high returns, marketing strategies that appeared foolproof. She trusted me completely. But behind the scenes, I subtly introduced risk. I steered her toward agreements that would collapse under pressure, exposed hidden liabilities she didn't understand, and encouraged overextension of funds that seemed manageable but weren't. Every decision was calculated. Every contract she signed tightened the noose around her own neck. And still, she believed she was winning. The final blow came quietly, On a Tuesday morning, Emily's investors withdrew their support suddenly, citing unforeseen financial instability. Her business, once thriving on her confidence and bravado, collapsed almost instantly. Employees were let go, offices shut down, and Emily's public image shattered. I watched from a distance, heart calm but eyes sharp. The sister who once looked at me with smug superiority now ran through a maze of panic, confusion, and desperation. She called me later, voice trembling, fragile. I don't understand. How did this happen? She asked, her tone broken. I didn't respond immediately. I let the silence stretch. Then, softly, deliberately, you did this to yourself. The words hit her harder than anything I could have said in anger. She realized, finally, that her own choices, every betrayal, every act of selfishness had led to this moment. Her world, once carefully built on my naivety and her cunning, had crumbled. In that moment, I didn't feel joy or vindictiveness. I felt something far rarer, a deep, serene justice. Years of sacrifice, years of being underestimated, of having my loyalty taken for granted, had all culminated in this perfect balance. She had played her hand. She had won her little victory, but in doing so, she had underestimated the quiet strength of the person she thought she had defeated. I didn't need her gratitude. I didn't need apologies. I didn't even need her fear. I only needed balance, fairness, and at last, that had been restored. Betrayal cuts deeply, especially when it comes from someone you love. But revenge, when patient and deliberate, doesn't need to be loud or destructive. The sweetest kind of justice comes from precision, observation, and letting someone's own choices guide them to their downfall. I learned that day that true strength isn't an immediate retaliation. It's an endurance strategy, and knowing that karma, when applied with intelligence and patience, can be more satisfying than any outburst of anger. If you've ever been underestimated or betrayed, share your story in the comments below. Hit that like button if justice served feels as sweet to you as it did for me. And subscribe because some stories of betrayal and revenge are too good not to hear. Remember, sometimes the best revenge isn't in the confrontation. It's in the quiet, inevitable fall of those who wronged you.